How's it going, boys? The Rust Otter Reacts here today with a quick one for the second channel. Today we're going to be ranking the Cdl teams a lot faster, a lot slicker, a lot quicker than ranking tons of players. Make sure you've got your brew for this one. If you do enjoy the content, be sure to leave a like and a subscribe. It'd be massively appreciated. And the categories we've got today are bots, meh, because I didn't know what to put for it, but we've gone with meh, mid, elite, godlike. Right. And I am going to put this out there before I even start. I could be completely incorrect, but I don't think there's going to be any godlike teams this year, and all the Optic fans are going to be jumping on my back going, what you on about? Obviously, yeah, we're 2 times champions. But I feel like this year could be potentially the most competitive year we've had in a while. I just feel like there's Optic a standout team on paper, but I just feel like anyone can beat anyone in terms of that top 6. That top 6 could sort of completely jumble itself about. I feel like on any given day they could beat each other. FaZe aren't that juggernaut anymore. Subliners are gone. Thieves have mixed it up. I'm not too sure what to expect. Gentlemates have now got a really respectable team, and then Riyadh Falcons have a really respectable team. Every single side has them sort of players that can pop off and win you a series, which I think makes it really interesting. Obviously, the difference is Optic have 2 of them players, but then debatably you could say that Thieves easily have 2 of them in Scrap and Hydra. And obviously Gentlemates, I feel like what I like about the Gentlemates team is I feel like they don't have them sort of egos. I feel like that team will just click, it will gel, it'll be like a really well ran team in terms of a lot of experienced pros, and I think Envoy, Ghosty have played together before as well, and I just think that they bring a lot of experience. And I mean, I don't know what's gone on, similar to Thieves in a sense of when Thieves lost all of their best players and then they dropped down, but then they picked up a load of youngsters or sort of low salaried players. But Thieves competed, surge of, I just don't know what, they've lost the whole team. They look woeful. They look so bad. I can't believe that Gwyn has gone from Ravens looking like a real promising rookie, and he's now got legend Lunas, Abe. I just don't get it. The crap, the bots. My next team that look really poor this year is the Ravens. I just don't expect anything from them really. Craze, Lurks, Nero, Slasher, it to me, it's just not good. I expect them to do really poor, and I've got the Ravens in bots. Cloud9 next up, and they are just meh, aren't they? I mean, you've got Mac and Beans, Afro and Vivid, and that whole roster just screams of meh. I just don't. Maybe Mac could have a pop-off series, but Beans can be inconsistent. There's just no one there that gets me off my seat, and I think he might win you that match. I just don't get that vibe from them. My next team I'm going to be picking out is G2 Rocker. For me, they're mid, and I think a few people might say they could be definitely in Met, and there is a case, there's an argument for that. But I really like Mamba from what I've seen of him. He's in his rookie year. He looks like a talented AR, and I think he has potential. Could be wrong. But you've got Kremp, who's an experienced pro. Can really have them pop-off series. The problem is he's always been inconsistent. He's never really had that from when I've been watching the Cdl. From what I know, he's not had a big move to a really big team. Obviously had a really good year with Thieves 2 years ago. You've got Estriel, who again can be really good, and he's hot and cold. And then you've got Skies, who's obviously got a ring, and is a fantastic straight shooting AR. Very good at the OBJ. I think from what I've just described for you, takes them above that level of meh. Boston Breach joining them in meh, because for me, Snoopy can be fantastic. He gives you something. He's hot and cold, but when he's hot, he's red hot. And I do think he can level it up. I think also that pickup of nasty quality AR for me really grown in the last few years. I remember when I started watching, he was at like the worst team in the league at Ravens. But last year with Serge, he was cracking. I'm surprised he didn't maybe get a better move, but I think he'll thrive with Boston. And from the quals I've watched, Cammy looking really good on this game. Purge is steady. Miami Heretics next for me, going to be cracking it into mid. I really like Rencor. Obviously you've got Super. Trakes is completely an unknown and unproven, and Metals is just consistent. Very good search and destroy team. I feel like they're missing maybe 2 more really quality players to take them to that elite, but they've really started to compete on a bigger scale in the last 2 years. They made a major final, I think. The one in Spain, or did they go out in the semis? They were certainly up there that year. I feel like for some reason I've got a feeling they got to that final. They might have bottled the semis, but they're certainly growing as an org. Seem to be picking up some nice, tidy players that people haven't really heard of. Now we're left with the big boys. It's tough. This is all tough. And the only team that can be, for me, out of any of them, really be perceived to be godlike is Optic, because of the way they won the World Championship. They've gone back to back. They've got Shotzi, they've got Dashi, and then they've added Merc to the mix, and Merc's looking like an all-time player. We don't know what might follow him. He could drop off a cliff. Anything could happen. But how he looks at the moment is... I'm hoping that they don't go 3 in a row. That would actually make me feel sick. In terms of godlike sides, the only team that can really be perceived to be that team is Optic. As much as I hate to say it, and it makes me feel really poorly. And my sort of out there shout is going to be KOI or Toronto Ultra Elite. And I just think that Real was such a good pickup. I just think he's such a quality young sub, aggressive. He's really improving year on year, and I remember him last season picking up some crazy games for Miami, and I think he is a huge loss to Miami. And I just feel like they could kick on. You've got Kleenex and Insight, such experienced players. I really enjoy watching Kleenex and Insight. They're just intelligent players. They've been there, they've done it. The only thing they haven't managed to do is win a ring. I do feel like they can compete this year. Although they had a really strong start last year, completely dropped off. Obviously they've got Joe Deceives as well, who I haven't even mentioned. He's fantastic. And they've started well this year, but they could drop off and they could be perceived to be in here, but I'm going to put them in the elite category for now. I'm gonna put Red Falcons in mid, and these are my favourite side. I think it's harsh. They could certainly be an elite. They've got Celium, one of the best ARs of all time. You've got Kismet, who's won a ring, but Kismet hasn't quite found that championship form that he had 2 years ago. A very intelligent player, very good at setting people up, Kismet. My favourite player. If Kismet can raise to them levels, it would certainly get them around this area. Obviously, Pred, again, won a ring very recently. Fantastic player. There's just question marks around Exonid. How consistent can he be? I see him make some crazy good plays, but then I also see him make some crazy stupid plays. And I feel like because Exonid's sort of there, he's the paper boy, he's the front page for that. He's the main man in the sense of that he is the only Saudi Arabian player they've got. I think they might have Roxaz on the bench potentially, but Exonid isn't. I just don't see Exonid being dropped for another American/European player. He is the front cover for that team, and a lot of their form could depend on how Exonid plays. All mates for me are going in elite. I've heard they've been cracking in scrims. They've started this season really well, and I mentioned them earlier, and I just think Envoy, Ghosty, just brilliant players, experienced pros. Sib, another experienced pro. He's missing that ring, but my God, was he good for subliners. 2 years ago, MW3 was so good for subliners. He was fantastic. Ghosty hasn't won his ring, but again, a very intelligent player on the comms, communicator. A great AR, can also play sub. Envoy's won a ring, been close a few times. And then to add the Challengers player, Neptune, well, I say Challengers, he come from the Challengers last year. And he, for me, was the turning point for Surge that just made them click. And they was in 2 major finals off the back of picking Neptune up. He was fantastic. Massive fan. I feel like Gentlemate's going to be a joy to watch. They've been brilliant in scrims. They started the season well, and they could certainly maybe make that step up. I don't think these can make that step up there. Gentlemates have that potential. Thieves no questions asked are elite. Scrap, one of the best ARs in the league. Hydra, maybe the best subby in the league, with Ibiza, who's been the best subby in the league for a long time. My big question marks with it, if LA can make this jump, is if Kenny can find his form from 2 years ago at Optic. But again, he's a great leader. He's good at communicating. He sets up well. He's an intelligent player, but he's just not been putting the numbers up the last few years. Obviously, had that awful drop-off with Optic the year after winning it. Ended up at Rocker, and even then he was meh. And I didn't expect him to actually get picked. If I was Thieves, I'd have picked up Nasty instead of Kenny. I think Nasty would have been a fantastic pickup. They've gone with Kenny, which is understandable. He's got multiple rings, individual awards through the roof. My mum came in and completely distracted me. Completely changed my thought. I was just saying that I was talking about Kenny. Leaves me with finally FaZe, who elite. I just don't really know what to expect. Obviously 0-4 and a boozer last year, absolutely unbelievable with Surge, couldn't quite get over the line when it mattered. They've now been combined with Draza and Simp. Simp is one of the best players of all time, no questions asked. The question mark for me is the ARs. I think 0-4 Simp will absolutely cook. Draza's been so inconsistent, so hot and cold. Can be so good but makes some questionable decisions. And with Aluka now on the bench, if one of them doesn't play well, give it a couple series and Aluka will be straight in. And I would be swapping him in for Draza personally. I think Abuza's fantastic. I really like Abuza. Draza's just been a bit... For me, whenever I've watched FaZe in the last few years and they're not playing that well, it's normally when Draza's not playing that well. He's normally seems to, for me, could be the root of the problem. I like Draza. I think he's a personality, but I think he needs to really pick up. Otherwise, he's going to end up at Seattle Surge with the bots. Anyway, boys, that is my tier list of the Cdl teams on the Rust.Reacts Rust.Us 2 channel. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, it'd be massively appreciated. Tell me what you are thinking to my tier list. I hope you've enjoyed. Catch you in the next one.